We're at a new Mexican restaurant, and what did you get?
Burritos Deluxe.
Okay, Noah got it too. I've got my plain bean burrito, and Willow got, what is that?
Black bean quesadilla.
Black bean quesadilla. This is a new place for us. What is the name of it? Okay, it's in Sarasota.
Mr. Tequila Cantina.
And that's in Sarasota. What road is this?
Cattleman.
Cattleman. Off of I-75. So, check it out. Look how pretty this place is. All the decorations. And all the chairs. Can you see? Isn't that pretty? Welcome to Siesta Key Beach, voted #1 beach in the United States. It's absolutely beautiful here in Sarasota, Florida. I hope you get a chance to come down and see it sometime. We have a lot of tourists down here today. I've noticed they're from all over the world, people speaking different languages. It's so awesome. I just love it. One of our viewers had a really great question about renting an apartment versus renting a house. The pros and cons, the differences. So I'll just tell you what I know. I'm not an expert. I'm not a realtor. As you know, we're selling our house, so I've been looking at houses to rent and apartments to rent, condos to rent. Condos are like apartments except people own them and some people rent them out. So some of the pros of renting a house is that usually, not always, it's a little larger. And usually you have a little more privacy, a little bit more quiet. As far as prices go, it really varies from apartment to house. You can get a house maybe about the same price or maybe even a little bit less. But sometimes the landlord wants you to cut the grass or upkeep the property. So if that's something you don't mind doing, that might work out. It's really a personal preference, I think, on if you prefer renting a house versus an apartment. The other thing is, if you're living outside the country, I would not rent a house via Craigslist. There's too many scams. I would definitely get a realtor or a management company that manages the property, the houses that are for rent, so you're not dealing directly with the landlord, because you want to make sure that you're protected, your right to protect it. And sometimes if you don't do it the right way, your privacy might be invaded, you might not be treated fairly. So I personally would go with a management company or a realtor who's managing the house. We're trying to figure out why they put this down on the beach. I think it's a great idea, maybe for wheelchairs or something like that. I think that's an awesome idea because it's really hard to push wheelchairs or anything else on the beach, and this would make it possible.
Sarasota County is committed to make all beaches accessible to everyone.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Sarasota. Had to move down the beach, so I hope you could hear me. I wanted to continue about renting a house. If you're looking for quiet, looking for room, you want to rent a house, but through a realtor or a management company. I like apartments because if your refrigerator breaks down, your stove breaks down, usually there's maintenance on staff and they can come down, within a few minutes to a few hours. So you won't have to wait as long as you might in a house. The other thing about apartments is usually you can rent from month to month. You might pay an extra $100, $300, or who knows, it's different everywhere. or you can rent for 3 months, 6 months. If you do a whole year, usually you get the best price. A house, you will get more privacy, but the landlord may want you to cut the grass and upkeep the house. If something goes wrong, like the refrigerator breaks down, either he might want you to pay fix for it, or you might have to wait for him or her to send out somebody to take care of it. For some reason, especially in Florida, there's a lot of scams because I think we have a lot of tourists. So there's people who come here for the winters and they're looking for a house or an apartment. If it's very affordable, it's probably too good to be true. It's probably something you better double check, because during the winter the rents go up. As far as renting a house, usually you have to rent a house for the full year. If it goes month to month, it will be double or triple the price, and because snowbirds come down, they only rent for 3 to 6 months, and they are willing to pay extra for furnished and shorter leases. Now, if you are looking to go month to month, then that might be an option, but it's going to cost more. I would check with apartments first, because they are more affordable as far as I've seen, to go month to month, even a furnished apartment. And also apartments have the option of having shorter leases, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Not all of them, they're all different, so you would have to check. And then you have apartments that offer pools, workout rooms, yoga rooms, free coffee, little extra luxuries. And that could cost about the same as much as a house. Houses could be a little bit less, a little bit more. It's really, really something you have to check out. I'd have to say it doesn't matter one way or the other if you want to rent a house or rent an apartment. It really is up to you what you are looking for. If you're looking for more privacy, then yes, a house, but you'll have to maybe not have a pool. And if you're in Florida, you want a pool. But if that doesn't matter to you, you don't mind fixing things yourself, then maybe a house is better for you and you like your extra privacy. Now, apartments are really nice. We lived in an apartment the first 8 months here in Sarasota, and we loved it. It was very nice. It had a pool, hot tub, workout room, free coffee, potluck once a month, something like that. I don't know how often, and people would meet down at the pool. And what's nice about here in Florida, especially Sarasota, we'd meet at the pool and there'd be all kinds of people from all over the country. So I met a lot of people from Ohio, very close to where we lived, so I met a lot of friends that way. If you're a social butterfly, that's a great place to meet people, is being in an apartment. Now, we lived on the first floor. We had wonderful neighbors, but the one above, as nice as they were, they had a baby, and you can't expect a baby not to cry in the middle of the night. You could hear the baby cry and stomping of the feet. So I recommend second floor or top floor if you can get it, mainly for the noise. Most apartments, you can hear your neighbors but usually it's not between the walls that you hear them so well. It's mostly if someone's above you and they're heavy-footed, or have children running around, jumping up and down. I've lived in other apartments years ago, and that was my experience. It was usually the noise coming from upstairs. But I've seen utilities are usually a little less in apartments than a house, so something to look at. The house you have has a pool. The electricity is going to be a huge bill. I mean, I've heard people say my electricity in the summer might be $250, and theirs might be like $400 to $600, depending how warm they want to keep their pool, or just to keep it running, to keep it clean. So when you rent an apartment, you don't have to worry about that. There's a pool, you go swimming, you don't have to clean it. If you're in a house, you would have to clean that pool if there was one. I'm going back and forth. I don't really have an answer for you what's best for you. From house to house, there's big differences. You have to do your research. That's why I say you need a realtor if you're coming from a different country or a different state, because you don't know, if this block in the same city is safe compared to 3 miles down the street might not be a safe neighborhood, and you wouldn't know that unless you had a realtor or a management company to help you out. And again, check reviews, because you might think you have a good realtor or management company and they got bad reviews, and who knows the kind of service that you might get. Not sure if I missed anything or any other questions you might have had. If I did, please comment below. Let me know. Thumbs up if you like this video. Don't Don't forget to share. Please subscribe and click the notification button next to the little bell, notification bell next to the subscribe button. And this way you will get emailed when I upload a video so you don't miss one. Well, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.